Hi,
Hi.
I'm Detective Cal, and I'll be asking you a few questions regarding what happened yesterday.
Okay.
Can I offer you anything to drink?
Sure, a bottle of water would be great. Thank you.
Can I just start off with your name, date of birth, and occupation?
So my name is Sabrina Ali.
Okay.
I was born April 9, 1994. And I work part-time at the Fossil here, Ontario and City Centre. I'm a full-time student at Sheridan College.
Okay, nice. Can you describe to me about that day?
So that day, I was working. I was actually working a full day. It was 9 to 5, I think. And I was just getting ready to go and take my break. I was just standing there right by the window with a customer. And I could see that in the intersection there was a black car trying to make a left turn. And then inbound traffic was a silver car. And I guess they just didn't see each other. And while they were both in the intersection, the left car, I guess, tried making his left turn for whatever reason, and they just kind of hit into each other.
Nice. Okay. What happened at the accident?
So they both got out of their cars, and it looked like they might have been going to exchange information, or maybe just talk it out, but then they started getting into an argument. It looked like they were getting into an argument, and at one point, the guy who got out of the black car got back into his car and just drove off because, I don't know, he didn't care about the damage to his car or something. And the guy who was still there, who had come in the silver car, he took out his phone. He called, I'm assuming he called 911, because the police arrived shortly after just to take care of him. And I think an ambulance came too.
Okay, excellent. Can you describe to me what they look like?
Both of them were Asian. They were both Asian males. One was really tall. I think it was the guy who came out of the black car. He was tall. He was over 6 feet for sure. The other guy was about, I'd say 5'6" or 5'8" maybe. The cars, one was a black Honda. I can't remember if it was a Civic or an Accord, and the other one was also a Honda. I think it was a Civic.
Great. So did you try to intervene with the situation?
No, I was actually the only one in the store, so I couldn't actually leave it. And I also didn't want to get involved because it looked like they were getting upset at each other, and I didn't feel comfortable getting in between the two of them. So I just watched from the store.
All right, great. Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Hi.
How's it going?
Hi, I'm Detective Cal, and I'll be asking you a few questions.
Sure.
I believe you were in a car accident yesterday?
Yeah, I was.
All right, can you just describe me about your day?
Well, it was normal Wednesday. It was typical. I usually drive down this road often, and so this intersection, from my experience, it doesn't have a lot of accident reports. So, I would think, this is a safe road. What happened was that I drove down, and I was driving steadily. I was driving 60 kilometers. Maybe I was hitting 62, 63 kilometers, but the speed limit was 60 kilometers. So, I was trying to maintain that. And then, I came across the intersection, and then what I noticed is that on the pedestrian crosswalk, the lights, it still had the walking symbol guy. So I would assume that it was not even close to turning, or just turning yellow or even red. So I was gonna proceed, and then I noticed that there was a car on the opposite lane making a left turn. So I would think, okay, he's gonna yield for me. So I kept on going. I didn't hesitate to brake, or didn't bother to think about braking and whatnot. So then I kept on driving, and then I noticed that he didn't even slow down. He kept going, and then he wanted to beat me. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, crap, I might hit this guy. And I had, three options. Either I swerve left, and hit the car on my left, because there's people on the left lane, or I swerve on the right and I hit the car on the right lane, or and like they can get hurt as well, or I just go straight, like brake and take the impact and like not make anyone else involved, right? So I had a split second to think about it, and I didn't think about swerving left or right. I just slowed down, like I just slammed the brake as hard as I can, and I just took the impact of my car. So pretty much only my car and the car that made the left turn got hit, and everyone else was okay. So thank God for that. So I T-boned him pretty hard. Well, his back end was really bad. Thank God that he slammed the brakes. Got out the car to see if he was okay. Now the messed up part was I tried to see if he was okay as well, and what happened was that he rolled down his window and he started swearing at me. And he's saying, why are you speeding? Why are you going so fast? He started swearing at me, cussing at me. It's just very rude. And then it was his fault as well on a green light. You would think they'd be more remorseful, but they're not. So he starts swearing at me. He rolls up his window afterwards, and then he just runs off. I'm like in my head, what the hell is this guy doing? Like, that's a crime. It's hit and run, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to remember because during the impact I hit my head on the car door. So the airbag kind of pushed me, and then I went to the left side of my car door, and then knocked the wind out of me for just a split second.
Mm-hmm.
So then we drove off, and yeah, that was pretty much it. And it's pretty disastrous.
Are you like really hurt, or did you go to the hospital or anything after that?
The ambulance came, so they called, like, people as witnesses, I'm assuming they called 911 and whatnot. I went to the hospital just for a few hours. They did some checkup on my head just to make sure there's no brain contusions or any brain ruptures, because I told them I had a headache. But it was just a headache, and then they say it will subside in a couple of days. So they let me off with some medications, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yep. Right. Excellent. What information did you get from the suspect? Did you get his license plate, his model of vehicle?
I believe his car was a black Honda. I think it was a black Honda. I don't know the model, but I kind of remember his license plate. I think it was a ARWP 406. Either 406 or 408. I couldn't remember because it happened all so fast. And yeah, I don't know if it's a 6 or 8 at the end, but I'm sure you guys can look it up in the database or whatnot. Yeah, but that's all I remember.
Cool. Can you describe me the damages to the vehicle?
Oh, from my vehicle, it's total. It's even the mechanic saw it and he's like, yeah, you can't drive this because the front end is like completely caved in, and like it's finished. I have to buy a new car and claim for a new car if I can. The other guy's driver, the other car, his rear end was pretty bad as well, but it was not as bad as, because he was able to drive off, so I would assume his car would be okay to drive, but yeah, that's all I remember.
So you're right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for coming. Thank you a lot.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Detective Cal, and I'll be asking you a few questions regarding an incident that happened yesterday.
All right.
So can you start me off with giving me your name, date of birth, and occupation?
My name is Ryan Mai. I'm born December 20th, 1989. And as of right now, I'm a student.
Okay. Can you describe to me about your day yesterday?
It was just a typical day. I woke up, went to school in the morning at the Trafalgar campus. And after that, I just decided to head to Square One for a little bit to shop. And yeah, that's my day.
All right. So do you drive to school?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So what car do you drive?
A black Honda Civic.
So did anything happen between the time 4 to 5 o'clock?
No, nothing out of the ordinary. I just went to Square One and then just headed home after school.
So you say you were doing this at that time. I asked this because I have evidence that puts you here at this location. Can you explain this to me? Is there anything going on in your life right now that you want to talk about?
Well, you see, I just recently got a new car for my parents, and I'm under my new insurance plan. And as I was leaving square one, I was making a left turn, and it was a green light, and I didn't see oncoming traffic. And that's when a gray Honda Civic T-boned me. And the reason why I didn't want to say anything to you is because I didn't want to get in trouble. So when I got hit, the driver came out from the gray Civic, asked me for my insurance and all my documents, but I just cussed him off and I just left. I didn't tell anybody, not even my parents, about this because I'm afraid, and that it's a new car and it's new insurance. I was afraid I might get in trouble.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
All right.